Derek Sheridan from Rust Belt Basketball Coaches Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so lucky to have the legendary coach Todd Windlan, who has coached at darn near every premier coaching position in the Rust Belt and is now the head coach at South Laurel High School in the great state of Kentucky.
We grew up in Anderson, Indiana, and Anderson, when I was growing up, was the mecca of Indiana high school basketball. We had the Wigwam. That city has produced 5 Mr. Basketballs. Just a great city for basketball. And the famed Wigwam, 9,000 fans. At one time, they had about 6,500 season ticket holders to high school. Really fortunate to grow up in that era. I played at Frankton High School under Coach Calvin Bailey, and like to talk about for those young coaches, Derek, is you better know who you're interviewing with. I have been very successful in a lot of interviews because I got to have these questions answered in the interview. I think you got to look at what you want out of your career. Some people early in their career will get eager just to get any job. I always view basketball as advantage, disadvantage. That's just the way the game's played. One thing I've learned in my career is I think you got to have a brand. Have your brand. And my brand for a long time has been RP32. Defensively, we signal a lot. So if you see that signal, just one fist or, 22, they know we're just in, the defense of changing it up at the end of a quarter, coming out of a timeout, on a free throw situation. I feel like those 3 things are when you want to change your defense. I've really tinkered with it the last 5 years, and it's really worked wonders. Is the Amoeba defense by Jerry Tarkanian. Very unique defense. I went in depth for about a year studying it before I even thought about putting it in, and it's kind of become a little bit of a staple that we'll play. It's 18 minutes, so we have 3 teams every day in practice. So let's say the white, let's say the blue, the black and the red are in shell. The white team's down at the other end. And
Let's say that you have 3 days to practice during a week. How do you manage practicing your multiple defenses with limited practice time?
So one thing we like to do in transition, let's just say our one's got it. We'll just call this our 5 as a trailer. 4, 3. So when we run our pistol stuff, 5 out, we like to blur cut it, we call. So we put this in late when you read the trailer, right? So let's say we came down, we've hit 5, right? 4's there. They're universal, like I've always said. 3's there. We can't get it to the 3. Okay, we can't reverse it. So you just read. I'll show you the 4 options that I teach a lot. So now let's say 5, 1, 2, 4, 3. 2 is going to get screen to screener action. So we're going to look. We want to play fast. We want to run. Okay, but now all of a sudden they're not running like they should be because they're not in shape. So if you practice this way like we do.
When I first advertised our show, I mentioned the fact that you were really good with sports psychology. So a coach has asked for advice on motivating the unmotivated. Special situation set play for 2 point. And this is half court. Your favorite special situation play for 3 points. Next question is also an amoeba question. What is your blockout system?
Blockout system.
Okay, next question. You mentioned run and jump press, and I knew this was coming too. Every time somebody mentions this, and it's a great question. Do your players rotate vertically or horizontally